Here's something nobody warns you about before you start a business. You could be doing really well. Clients coming in, revenue growing, the business is actually working, and somehow you're still personally broke. You're pulling money from savings to cover groceries, you haven't contributed to a retirement account, and you're not sure what your personal net worth even looks like anymore. And every time you think about your own finances, you just put it off because the business needs something. Sounds familiar? If it does, you're in exactly the right place. You're listening to Cash Grab, the podcast from Benchmark Ledger Solutions that helps new business owners take control of their financial lives. The stuff your accountant doesn't usually sit down and talk to you about. I'm Kimmy, and every week we're going to dig into tools, strategies, and real talk that puts more money in your pockets personally. This is episode 1, and today we're not going to dive into a tool or strategy just yet. Today we're going to talk about why this problem happens in the first place, because if you understand why, everything else we cover in this season makes a lot more sense. When you start a business, something changes about how you think about money. You stop thinking about your own finances and you start thinking in terms of the business. Every dollar that comes in, you're asking, what does the business need? Marketing, equipment, software, staff? And that instinct isn't wrong. In the early days, reinvesting in the business is often smart, but here's where it goes wrong. The mindset doesn't turn off. Even when the business is going okay, you're still treating your own financial life like an afterthought. There's also the income unpredictability factor. Most personal financial advice assumes that you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. And when you don't, the framework kind of falls apart. You can't automate savings the same way, you can't predict your tax bill the same way, you can't budget the same way, so a lot of business owners just stop trying. And then there's what I like to call the invisible tax. Being self-employed costs way more than people realize. You're paying both sides of Social Security and Medicaid, which is a flat 15.3% before any income taxes. You also buy your own health insurance, and you don't have an employer to match on a retirement account. All of these things chip away at your personal bottom line in ways that sneak up on you and you might not think about. The good news, every single one of these problems has a solution, and that's exactly what this podcast is about. All right, here's your grab for the episode. 3 things to hold on to. Number 1, the fact that your personal finances are suffering doesn't mean your business is failing. It usually means you haven't built a personal financial system designed for someone with your kind of income, and that's fixable. Number 2, being self-employed changes everything about how personal finance works. The advice built for employees doesn't always translate, and that's okay, because there are better frameworks built specifically for you. Number 3, this season, we're going to tackle it piece by piece. Budgeting, taxes, insurance, retirement, credit, spending, and more. So make sure to stick around. Cash Grab is brought to you by Benchmark Ledger Solutions. If the business side of your finances needs attention too, our team works with business owners every day. You can learn more at benchmarkledgersolutions.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to the very first episode of Cash Grab Season 2. Next week, we're getting into one of the most important things a new business owner can do, and almost nobody does it right. We're talking about how to actually pay yourself. Subscribe wherever you listen, and we'll see you next Monday.